YouTube'ga басталды трансляция.
Good afternoon, dear members of the Dissertation Council. Let me introduce you to permanent members of the Dissertation Council participating in today's defense. Chairman of the Dissertation Council, candidate of law, Professor Ahat Volkan Ahbek. Chairman. Sayranbayeva Julius Talgatuma, candidate of law, associate professor, deputy chairman. Konaliva Juliana Amangildiva, doctor of law, associated professor, member of the council. Alimpol Perol Temkanlu, candidate of law, associated professor, academic secretary. Temporary members of the Dissertation Council today, Satbay Vaijan Muratullah, candidate of law, associated professor of the Department of Social Science and Humanities, Kенжалиева University of International Business, Almaty City, Kazakhstan. Askarov Nurlan, candidate of law, associated professor, Academy of School of Law at the University Almaty City, Kazakhstan. Muhamedjanov Amonullah Zakirovich, doctor of law, professor of the Department of International Law and Human Rights of the Tashkent State University of Law, Tashkent City, Uzbekistan. We have a forum. I propose to start the work of the Dissertation Council. The agenda today we will participate in this defense of Kенжалиева dissertation on the topic constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center. The dissertation was prepared at the Department of Jurisprudence and International Law at Quran University. Scientific consultants: Aldabergenova Nonna Aldabergenova, candidate of law, associate professor, professor of the High School of Law, Faculty of Humanities and Law, Quran University, Almaty City, Kazakhstan. Julian Chase, PhD, professor of the City University of Hong Kong City, Hong Kong, People's Republic of China. Official reviewers: Tileo Kalın, PhD, Dean of Faculty of Law and Economics, Jetsu University, named after Jansugur, Talugorgan City, Kazakhstan. And Kasımbek Aliya Ornbasar kızı, PhD, Action Deputy Dean for Science and International Relations of Abay University, Faculty of History and Law, Almaty City, Kazakhstan. The floor is given to the academic secretary of the Dissertation Council, candidate of law, associate professor Alimpol Perol.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Dear members of the Dissertation Council, please introduce our Kенжалиев М.З. Kенжалиев М.З. was born in July 6, 1990 in Almaty, Republic of Kazakhstan, nationality Kazakh. Education: in 2011, he graduated from Kiev University with a Bachelor of Social Science degree in Public Administration. In 2014, he earned a master's degree in International Law, LLM, from Kiev University. In 2026, he graduated from the doctoral program of the Turan University with a degree in jurisprudence. During his studies at Kiev University, he participated in the prestigious international competition, the William Wismut Court, held in Vienna, Austria. In November 2012, he began his professional career at Granta Law Firm as a junior lawyer. After gaining 2 years of practical experience, he transitioned to academia in 2040, starting as a lecturer at the School of Law at Kiev University. Since then, he has worked as a senior lecturer at leading Kazakhstan universities, including UIB University and Turan University. Currently, he holds the position of senior lecturer at Narcos University in the High School of Law and Public Administration. He has 12 years of professional experience. The topic of his thesis dissertation as constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center, and he has published 4 articles in this topic. One article was published in a journal by Cambridge University Press, while the other 3 were published in journals recommended by the Committee for Education and the Science of the Committee for Education and Science of the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. And this is important. He is the sole author of all his publications.
Thank you. Does anyone have any question? No, thank you. For the presentation of the main evaluation of the dissertation, the floor is given to the applicant. Is Mr. Madi, we have regulations, so only 10-15 minutes. Okay, thank you. Presentation, please.
Dear members of the Dissertation Council, thank you very much for the having me today. And as discussed, the topic of my thesis dissertation is constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center. Please, next slide. Well, as has been represented, my scientific consultant is Norman Devigenna and Julian Chess as the international consultant. Please, next slide. Regarding the relevance, next slide. So, the Republic of Kazakhstan is striving to become one of the most developed nations in the world. And for that purposes, the creation of the Astana International Financial Center was one of the major steps in order to achieve this goal. And for that, in 2015, the new constitutional statute on AFC was adopted. Alongside with this, the amendments to the constitution was made. So this was a big step for the creation of the AFC. Please, next slide. And this actually coincides with a very important trend is the fact that the AAC is the first Commonwealth jurisdiction within the post-Soviet countries among all of the CIS countries. Please, next slide. And it also corresponds to the next very important trend is the creation of the special economic zones that operates on the very similar English common law basis that proliferated throughout the Eurasian and African continent, as you can see, starting from Shenzhen, Hong Kong, to Dubai, to Mauritius. In addition to that, another very important trend is the proliferation of international commercial courts base that operates on the English common law principle or very similar international standards that also were created in Europe mostly, as you can see, London, Paris, Brussels, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, and Astana as well. So the Astana International Financial Center combined 2 very important prominent trends throughout the world. Please, next slide. So with the aim of the thesis is the following. Next. It is to study the constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center, to study the international experience for the creation of special economic zone, as well as the International Financial Center. In addition to that, there was a creation of the Regional Financial Center of Almaty, which was dissolved. And for that purpose, there were no actual studies conducted by the national lawyers with regard to this. Then we have to review the bodies, the internal structure of the AIC, how it actually works, how it operates, and then identifying the place of these bodies and how it cooperates with the and how it actually exists within the public administration of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Another main body is the AIC Court, because it is the new national actually judicial system and how it cooperates with the national judicial system of the Republic of Kazakhstan. And finally, of course, the substantive law of the AIC and its new official language, which is English. Please, next slide. So with regard to the research methods, we have employed four main methods, which is monitoring in order to identify the study object. The second is the dialectical method, which is also a qualitative method. Then third is the historical method. We have to study and actually compare how the international financial centers are actually developing throughout the history and what kind of position do we have currently. And finally is the comparative jurisdiction, because we have to study the Chinese law, the law of the United Arab Emirates, of the Qatar, and to compare how we actually are living right now. Please, next slide. So the scientific novelty, which is could be described in following. The authors, the first definition of what is the constitutional status of AIFC as firstly identified within the thesis dissertation. In addition to that, we have the historical stages, which were four stages for the development of international financial centers. Next also is the effective regulation, the effective regularization of the activities of the AIFC, and as well the analysis of its bodies and how it's identified within the place and within the hierarchy system of the Republic of Kazakhstan. In addition to that, we have to identify the place of the Astana International Financial Court, because there are many discussions regarding its position, and finally to propose the further legal development of its current substantive law. Please, next slide. So the main provisions are following. First of all, we have to identify the constitutional status, which could be identified only by identifying the term status, then legal status, then constitutional status. Next slide. Then we have to identify four its development stages. So the period of prehistory, the Tatamous period, the direct regulation, and constitutional regulation, all of which are the historical development up to the current stage. Fine. Next slide, please. So the analysis as well of the unsuccessful experience, because we have the unsuccessful experience of the Moscow International Financial Center, as well as regional financial center of Almaty City. So there was no aim, they created it without any purpose. And as well, they didn't take into the consideration the experience of international organization. In addition to that, there were no clear internal structure with regard to its bodies, and there was no court, which the rigid court system that would implement and protect the interests of the international investors. And finally, of course, the law, the English common law provisions were applied, which is very something that is novel, something that is new for our region. Please, next slide. Then we have the constitutional foundation of the AIFC, which is the sole purpose identified by the constitutional statute on AIFC, the 5 objectives that corresponds with the purpose, the principles of how the AIFC employer should work, the territory within which it exists as a special economic zone, and the substantive law that is applied, which is developed on the basis of the common law. However, it is the unique law of the AIFC itself. And finally, the new language that is implemented in the Republic of Kazakhstan, which has an official status within the territory of the AIFC. And as well, the development policies, which included 4 main provisions. So historically, it has been proven that it is very crucial in order to implement constitutional reforms, both in China, in UAE, in Qatar. They were constitutional reforms in order to develop, create a legal foundation for the AIFC. Then there was an organizational independence, meaning that bodies have to be independent from the state. As well, the legislative initiative, meaning that they have to implement their own policies and own regulation for them to be very flexible. And finally, the provision of the English common law that should be applied, because this is the new international standard, the way the business is actually working. Please, next slide. And then there is also very many controversies, because some of the scientists claim that the AIFC is a special or emergency court. However, the study of the Constitution and constitutional statute proves that it is not an emergency court nor a special court. It is a Kazakhstani court. Please, next slide. And finally, these are the suggestions that we provide, meaning that we claim that there is no duality between the Kazakhstani legal system by the creation of the AIFC. As well, we have to identify the interpretation of the AIFC Act by the AIFC court, because it is the substantive law, and it's very important to understand how it could be interpreted. As well, there should be a clear hierarchy, because we see the inconsistency between the constitutional statute and the laws of the AIFC itself. And there should be as well AIFC bodies. We have to identify which of them could actually demand the interpretation of the AFC Acts. Then we have to identify the term other common law jurisdiction because the constitutional status is vague about identifying those terms, but we have to be very clear and specific within the law. Then there should be a translation of the AFC Acts because there might be very big problems with regard to the translation of the AFC Acts from English to Kazakh as well as Russian languages. And finally, there should be a developing of the Islamic financing because this is one of the major provisions and goals of the AAC itself. Please, next slide, yes. So, theoretical and practical significance could be applied in following four manners. First is the further research on regularization of the AAC and its activities. The second is further improving the daily operations of the AAC. It could be applied in their day-to-day working. Thirdly, it could be further developed for the course of constitutional status of the AFC, as well as other courses like the law of the AFC. And finally, there should be further enhancing of the legal regulation of the AFC itself that we could develop throughout our thesis. So, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mahdi, for very interesting and good report. Kенжалиев Mahdi concluded his report. Who has a question about the report? Please.
Why do you not consider the AFC as a special or emergency court of the Republic of Kazakhstan?
Thank you very much. So, first of all, we have a normative resolution, the Constitutional Council on the interpretation of the paragraph 4 of the Article 75, where they clearly state that the AFC could not be considered as an emergency code because, first of all, in order to be considered as an emergency code, there should be a revolutionary tribunal, a military revolutionary, a military field courts, which were special judicial or quasi-judicial bodies created under the condition of totalitarian regime as a rule in connection with the specific events of a political nature. Similarly, if we look for the legal definition of a special court, there it is identified, it is created and regulated by the Special Regulator Act and not by the Constitution itself. Another thing is that their administration is exempt from the general order of the legal proceeding, which creates the condition for the violation of the rights of the people, of the citizens, of the organization. All of this actually excludes AFC from being regarded as an emergency or special court.
Why do you claim the emergence of the common law system within the framework of the AFC does not create the duality of the legal system in the Republic of Kazakhstan?
Well, thank you very much for the question, because the law of the AFC considered to be as the law of the Republic of Kazakhstan. This is not something that is beyond our law. It is actually developed within the specific territory. And moreover, if we look at the law on the special economic and financial zones, then we can see that the special economic zones is well regarded as a special territory with the legal regime. So meaning that the AIFC actually perfectly fits with the description of the special economic zone, and nobody describes them as a new law. No, it is regarded as a law of the Republic of Kazakhstan. So, in addition to that, there is an international experience that suggests that there will be no duality within the legal systems. For instance, the law within Hong Kong, in Shenzhen, in Qatar, in Dubai, and then as well the territories like Puerto Rico, Louisiana, Quebec, Ireland, and all of them have the dual legal system, meaning that the common law and civil law system, and they coexist perfectly without creating any duality.
Very good.
I have a question.
Please.
Please specify the place of case law. I know you show it in your dissertation, and what is our hierarchy in the law in Kazakhstan, and you said about the law of international financial center Astana.
Thank you very much for your question. So, with regard to the case law, the thing is that not the Constitution, not the constitutional statute, nor the AFC law clearly identifies its place. However, there is a hierarchy. So according to the AFC regulation number 1 on the AFC Act, it identifies that first of all, the highest hierarchy and the highest place has the Constitution of the Republic of Kazakhstan. At the second place, we have the constitutional statute on AFC. At the third place, we have the Management Council resolution on the AFC bodies. The fourth is the regulation, and fifth are the rules, and the sixth is the other relevant acts. So here we do not see the precedent or the case law within it. However, this is something that is missing, and that actually, if you look at the Article 13.6 of the Constitutional Statute, it specifies that the precedent law, the case law, may be taken into the consideration, meaning that it is the prerogative of the court to look for the case law in other jurisdiction and to apply it. However, it is not mandatory.
Okay, thank you. What about the classification of decisions? What kind of conclusions did you draw with from this analysis, or what's your point on?
Thank you. So, thank you very much for your question. So currently, we have 150 decision judgment passed by the AFC court. We have studied all of them and identified that out of this 149 actually, so in 2019, there was only one case heard. In 2020, there were 9 cases. In 2021, 12, excuse me. In 2022, there were 27. And in the past 2 years, there were an additional 50 cases heard by the AFC. So we can see the trend that it actually increasing, meaning that year by year, there are more and more companies are actually litigating within the AFC, increasing its popularity. The second thing is that there were 7 different categories, meaning that so out of these 129 cases, the 26 were contractual cases. The 23 of them were enforcement of the arbitral and mediation awards. The 15 cases were labor disputes. 7 cases were corporate disputes related to the mergers and amalgamations. And finally, there were 10 cases which were discontinued due to the lack of jurisdiction by the court, and the rest were the actually appeal decision between them. So you can see it is variety of the cases, and we can see that general trend is that it is increasing in popularity.
Thank you.
Any question? Please.
Thank you very much, Nadine, for your very interesting presentation. I see that your topic is a new topic for Kazakh juridical science. I will throw your presentation, and I have a question for you. Could you explain us why you have claimed alongside with the common law system, the IFCSC has also introduced the Islamic law within the territory of the financial center? And what kind of legal policies have been introduced to develop the Islamic financing in the Astana International Finance Center?
Thank you very much for that. So, with regard to your question, so currently AFC has a very important role of developing Islamic finance. And in order to develop Islamic finance, they have to actually implement Islamic rules and regulation of these financial activities. So currently we have 4 different AFC Act that was implemented. First is the AFC Islamic Banking Business Prudential Rules. The second is the Islamic Financial Rules. The third is the AFC Takaful and Retakaful Prudential Rules. And the fourth is the Manual for the Preparation of Returns for Banking Business Firms, Islamic Banks, and Islamic Financial Companies. So they were all actually developed with regard to the master plan. There is the Islamic Financial Master Plan. It is not a legal act. Strictly speaking, it's not an AFC act. However, everything was developed according to this plan, which means that the AAC pays very much attention to the development of the Islamic financing through developing the laws and regulations in the Islamic financial rules. So I hope that I answered your question.
So do you support the using of Islamic law in Astana Financial Center?
So with regard to the supportment, we have identified that there are many, so the development of the Islamic financing is actually tied to the banking system of the Republic of Kazakhstan. So banking law of the Republic of Kazakhstan specifically says that we cannot create Islamic windows, which could be regarded as one of the most problematic areas. So if we want to, for our citizens, most of our citizens considered to be Muslims, and 1 million Muslims, there was a research identified that 1 million Muslims could be right now could be the clients of the Islamic banking. So if we want to support their decision, we have to develop Islamic financing within the AIFC, which gives a very beneficial platform for them.
Thank you. Any questions, please?
Thank you very much, Madi. It was interesting speech, and after that, I have two questions. Firstly, please, could you tell me, you have that one of the reason for the dissolution of the regional financial center of the Almaty city was the lack of implementation of the advanced methods for legalization of the financial center. Please expound the role of these methods and effective regulation of the leading international financial centers. This is my first question. And my second question, what kind of the theoretical and practical issues arise with regard to the enforcement of the decisions of the AIFC court within the Republic of Kazakhstan as well as abroad?
Thank you very much, for your question. So, with regard to the first question, so there are 4 historical stages for the development of international financial centers. So, first, we call it the prehistoric method, where there was no regulation at all, meaning that there were patternless regulation, and generally there was a customary law that applied within these financial centers. However, they developed chaotically. At the second stage, there was the implementation of the Magna Carta as a law. There was a patternless regulation, meaning that the laws and regulations were applied. However, the city and generally the leadership did not recognize the cities as the financial centers. However, there was a main attractions for the financial transaction. At the third stage, there was direct regulation in the cities as in Amsterdam, as in New York, and as well in London as well. So meaning that they identify that currently we have to develop 2 very important financial institutions. The first is the National Bank, and the second one is the stock exchange market. The development, direct regulation and development of these 2 institutions allowed firstly Amsterdam to become an international financial center first, and later to London take its place, and now to New York dominate. And finally, we know that it's very difficult to catch up with those financial. And for that purposes, it was identified that we have to go with the 4th actually stage, which is constitutional regulation. Meaning that, so we have to make a constitutional reform in order to apply those measures and to create a legal background for that. The second of all, we have to give organizational independence to the bodies of the financial center to develop them. Then we have to create a special legal regime, and preferably is the introducing the English common law. So all these provisions is a constitutional regulation that allowed for the development of the Dubai International Financial Center, Qatar Financial Center, Abu Dhabi Global Market, and Shenzhen and Hong Kong as well. So, with regard to your second question, so there are many practical issues that create with the implementation, meaning execution of the AIFC court decision. So AIFC court is actually regarded as a Kazakhstani court, meaning that their decision could be applied on the same basis as the decisions of the Republic of Kazakhstan's court. However, in those regards, the latest decision made by the Lord Mans on the case of the Wine case, they decided that. So currently, they try to execute decision of the international court, meaning that the foreign court from London and Brussels as well. So Lord Mans identified that we cannot actually execute decision of the foreign court, only the decisions of the AIFC and the Republic of Kazakhstan. This is the latest trends regarding the executional issues in Republic of Kazakhstan.
Thank you. Any question? Please.
My name is I have the following conclusions. Currently, approximately 500 AIFC are slightly officially published, and almost all of them in English language. You have claimed that is causes legal problems for the Kazakhstan business and local banks. You kind of legislative you propose to solve this issue.
Thank you very much, Morena. with regard to your question, yes, there are almost 500 acts that is adopted within the AAFC. And in order to solve all of the issues, we should have an official translation, because we have an experience when the law was passed in Russian language, and then it was actually translated, officially translated into Kazakh language. And deputies of the parliament stated so the deputies of the parliament stated that actually there were 40 mistakes made within one single act that was translated from Russian to Kazakh language. And we have to keep in mind that it is not just a translation from one language to another. We have to keep in mind there is a different legal principle that lay behind the common law. So meaning that the same terms, this contract and other issues, you have different legal circumstances and different legal meaning. So therefore, we need the AIC itself to officially provide translation, because currently the National Bank, the businesses, there were many cases when there were issues regarding the interpretation and how to apply it in the Republic of Kazakhstan.
Thank you, Martin.
Mr. Chairman, I have also one question to researcher.
Please.
Mr. Kенжалиев, speaking about the novelty of your dissertation research, you analyzed the experience of the international financial centers of Astana and Moscow. In recent years, cooperation between the capitals of the Central Asian states has also been developing. Do you pay attention to these issues? Understand me?
Yeah.
My question?
Thank you very much, Amol. Yes, we have reviewed as well the experience of the the Moscow International Financial Center. So they were trying to develop it in 2004, and they were actually trying to implement the English common law provisions as well in Moscow, and also to apply the English language as a semi-official status to give it. However, they also created a roadmap, and there were three presidential decrees. However, none of them were actually implemented the way it was planned. So it is very difficult to understand why they had a plan, why they had three regulations. However, they didn't just follow up with the plan. However, our research shows that in order to have a full-fledged financial center, there should be a constitutional regulation, meaning that there should be a constitutional reform, the implementation of the constitutional statute, there should be a new set of laws and rules, and there should be an independent bodies that have a legislative autonomy. So without applying all of these measures, you cannot create a successful international financial center.
Thank you very much. Well,
I have one question. Please determine the legal status of English language on the territory of the Astana International Finance Center and within the Republic of Kazakhstan.
Thank you very much for your question. So currently, with regard to the language issues, it could be considered as an official language. So meaning that, so in order to apply any kind of decision within the Astana International Financial Center, you have to use the Russian language. However, English language. However, there are certain provisions within the constitutional statute on AIFC that identifies that if there was a certain demand from the citizens, or there were a case, then they could also demand it in Kazakh language and in Russian language. So assuming that there's two languages as well, it could be officially translated, meaning that the work will be done initially in English language. However, the reply from the official bodies or from the court could be translated officially from the court. However, it could take time. So therefore, we propose that there should be a special body that would actually translate everything officially on behalf of the AIFC.
Thank you. Thank you. With any more questions? Thank you. Please sit down, please. The floor is now passed to the first domestic scientific candidate of law, associated professor, Aldavergena. Please.
Thank you very much for your comment, Petrovich. Dear members of the Dissertation Council, let me present the review Kенжалиева М.З. dissertation on the topic Constitutional Status of the Astana International Financial Center submitted for degree of Doctor of Philosophy PhD. The presented dissertation is devoted to a practically unstudied and at the same time relevant scientific topic is the study of the constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center, AIFC. For the first time in the post-Soviet space, is the AIFC introduced a common law system on the basis of which the AIFC functions it acts independently and is not part of the judicial system of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The official language of the AIFC is English. The main part of the dissertation consists of four sections. The first section discusses the concept and meaning of the term constitutional status. The second section is devoted to the study of the main goals, objectives, operating principles and functions of the AIFC. The third section is devoted to in-depth study of the organizational and legal architecture of the AIFC. In the final section, the applicant clearly formulated the main problems in the legal regulation and practice of the AIFC related to the entry of English law into the legal system of Kazakhstan. The dissertation demonstrates an exemplary standard of academic work complemented in a coherent and clear manner. When rating a dissertation, the candidate complies with the principles of independence, internal unity, scientific novelty, reliability, and practical value and academic integrity. Dissertation by Kенжалиева М.З. on the topic constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center was carried out at high scientific and theoretical level. The dissertation is an independent study completed in accordance with all requirements and the author deserves a degree Doctor of Philosophy in the specialty of jurisprudence. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. The foreign scientific consultant for the dissertation is Julian, a professor of the City University of Hong Kong, who has provided positive feedback. The review will be presented by Alan Paul.
Mr. Chairman, allow me to present the official review of the foreign scientific consultant. Review of foreign scientific advisor to transition writing by Marie Kенжалиева on the subject constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center submitted for the academic degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD in jurisprudence. The candidate has submitted a dissertation which meticulously examines the complex aspect of the constitutional and the legal frameworks in their opinions of Astana International Financial Center. The core of the studies is dedicated to a comprehensive analysis of the study's findings. In an organized manner, the candidates segmented the research into 4 principal sections, further divided into 14 subsections, along with a conclusion and a well-thought-out bibliography. In the initial section, the author adeptly indicated the significance and the function of the AIFC using the broader governance structure of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The second section parallels of the details examination of the primary roles ascribed for the IFC by the Constitution and its constitutional status. That included a critical analysis of the IFC substantive legal principles. The third sections offer an in-depth exploration of the IAFC's organizational and legal architecture. Here, the after conduct through analysis of 6 primary bodies of the IFC, delving into the theoretical and the practical challenges each body face. The section also comprises funding with international benchmarks, proposing tangible solution of identified issues. In the final section, the author presents an insightful analysis of current hardness in the legal regulation of the IFST. The discussion extends to the potential policy implementation that would foster the IFC further development. From a formal standpoint, the thesis showcase and exemplary standard of academic origin and clarity. Within the framework of the thesis, the author has adequately tackled complex legal issues surrounding the governance and the operational efficiency of the IAFC. In my professional opinion, the thesis research on the topic of constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center is of high caliber and warrants for progression to the public discussion and reference. Professor Julian Chase, School of Law, City University of London.
Thank you. The floor is now given to the first official review. PhD Dr. Liu Column, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good afternoon, dear council and dear members of the dissertation and council. First of all, I would like to express my acknowledgements for the appointing as an official reviewer of the thesis dissertation written by Kенjaliyev M.Z. on the topic constitutional status of the Astana International Finance Center, submitted for the degree of the Doctor of PhD Specialty 8D04-201 Jurisprudence. After deeply introducing with the dissertation, I have prepared my review according to several criteria. First criteria is that the topic of the dissertation corresponds to the directions of the scientific development under government programs. Of course, the topic of the dissertation is in accordance with the priority directions of the development of science and also correspondence with the national programs such as first, the joint action plan of the government of the Republic of Kazakhstan and the National Bank of the Republic of Kazakhstan for the creation and the development of the Astana International Financial Center for the long term, approved by the resolution of the government Republic of Kazakhstan dated in May 13, 2015. And the next one is the address of the head of the state, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, to the people of Kazakhstan, economic course of the fair of Kazakhstan, dated September 1, 2023. Next one is the program of the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, dated May 20, 2015. About scientific significance. The dissertation of works makes a significant contribution to the science, and its importance is well disclosed. The scientific value and the significance of this research consists in researching and identifying the concept of the constitutional legal status of the Astana International Financial Center. Illuminates the international experience of the legal regulation of the special economic zones in the financial sphere. Pivots of the detailed exploration of historical paths of the development of international financial centers in the Republic of Kazakhstan. Provides an exhaustive examination of the main bodies of the Astana International Financial Centers. offers in-depth analysis of the AIFC court, as well as similar leading international commercial courts that proliferated throughout the Asian and the European continents. Hence, the dissertation research carried out by Mr. Kенжалиев meets the highest required for doctoral dissertations, PhD in specialty 8, D04-01 jurisprudence. The work showcases independent research of an author at a highest academic level. The thesis is well structured and demonstrates an exemplary standard of academic work completed in a consistent and clear manner. Candidate uses a sufficient number of relevant domestic and international sources and the legal acts. The goal of objective of the thesis research were met, and the conclusions on the results of the study were presented in coherent manners. The topic of dissertation is relevant and justified. The thesis dissertation by Kенжалиев is based on a very topical, scientific and practical issue dedicated to the constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center. The relevance of the dissertation topic is determined by the scientific and practical interest in the subject matter of the study. The relevance of the dissertation research is explained by the fact that it's aimed at analyzing the legal constitutional status of the AIFC, its bodies, the legal regime of the AIFC, the transplantation of the English common law in the Republic of Kazakhstan, as well as the review of the international experience of similar financial centers. Hence, in my professional opinion, I'm convinced that the thesis dissertation written by Mr. Kенжалиев, Constitutional Status of the Astana International Financial Center, is highly relevant. The content of the dissertation reflects the topic of the dissertation, since on the basis of the review and the analysis of the dissertation work, it can be noted that the work traces a clear and logical sequence outlined in the content of the dissertation. The work reflects the topic of the dissertation and fully complies with the purpose and objectives of the research. The thesis considers the place and the role of the AIFC with the system of the state administration of the Republic of Kazakhstan, the main functions of the AIFC, as well as its applicable law, will analyze it. The organizational legal structure of the financial center is studied. Finally, the dissertation outlines the current and the future challenges and the perspective for the development of the legal regulation of the AIFC. The author clearly formulated the purpose and the objectives of the study, which fully corresponded to the topic of the dissertation. The number and the sequence task ensures the achievement of the research objective. The purpose of the work is to perform an in-depth analysis of the constitutional as well as legal status of the AIFC, which involves examining key issues surrounding its constitutional and the legal framework, evaluating its legal system, and how well it aligns with the Kazakhstan's national architecture, reviving the role of the AIFC court and its integration with the Kazakhstan's judiciary, analyzing the AIFC's other 5 bodies and closely examining the specifics of the legal norms applied with the AIFC. In general, the above gives ground of asserts that author achieved the purpose of the study indicated in the work and each objective is fully covered. All sections and the provisions of the dissertation are logically and fully interconnected, consistent in the presentation of the material. The information presented in each section is described in great details. The structure of the dissertation is focused to illuminate the purpose and the objectives of the study. The solution to the task is logically interconnected. The results obtained by the research logical serves as a foundation for the conclusion and the provision presented for defense. All above confirms the presence of the internal unity of the results obtained. The degree of validity and the reliability of each result is ensured by the relevance of the chosen topic, the thoughtfulness of the goal, the compliance of the tasks set and solved. The scientific results obtained by the dissertation authors are based on the well thought of organization and the methodological base of research. The author conducted through critical analysis of the judicial decision of the AIFC courts, as well as existing internal acts of the financial center. The results of the study and the conclusions obtained during the implementation of scientific work are presented for the first time, which follows from analysis of the literature conducted by the dissertation and contains comprehensive analysis of the research. The scientific results, finding conclusions, and the main provisions submitted for defense obtained by author make a significant and completely new contribution to the development of the science of the constitutional and financial law are distinguished by their novelty. The conclusions are fully consistent with the stated purpose of the study and the set objectives. And all findings of the thesis completely new. Theoretical significance processes presented in the 4 sections, which are substantial theoretical and practical contribution to the development of the legal sphere. Technical, technological, economic, or managerial solutions are partly new and reasonable, for the author gives recommendations on amendment to the existing legislation of the Astana International Finance Center based on the leading international experience. The proposals are intended to contribute to the achievement of the goals of the development and the modernization of legal system on both AIFC and the Republic of Kazakhstan. The reliability of the obtained results is confirmed by a large volume of analyzed material, including scientific articles, relevant thesis, dissertation, researches, and statistical data. The scientific results of conclusions and the recommendation of the dissertation are sufficiently and reasonably well substantiated. This is confirmed by compliance with the requirements scientific research determined by the application of general scientific research method, citation of the work of foreign domestic scholars who have made a great contribution for the theory and the practice of the problem, and the consideration and the publication of the main provisions. All findings and the conclusions are based on the scientifically significant and reliable results and presented in a consistent, clear, factual, and objective manner. About main provisions which are submitted for defense. First provisions is proven due to the fact that author provides a definition of constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center. It was given. About its trivial. Is it trivial? No. Since author explored a theoretical basis, substance term constitutional status and formulated an original definition for the constitutional status of AIFC. About answering about news. Is it new? Yes. Since the first time the concept of the constitutional status of the AIFC was formulated, the legal science of the Republic of Kazakhstan, this is a framework of interconnected constitutional statuses involving AIFC bodies, territorial legal system, language, and other aspects. In other words, the constitutional legal status of the AIFC as a whole encompasses its components and the structural elements, the constitutional statuses of the governing bodies, the constitutional status of the AIFC territory, its legal framework, including the constitutional status, English law, and the Islamic law, and the constitutional status of English, Kazakh, Russian language, among others. Level of application is assessed as a wide, because the implementation of this provision is not only develops a deeper exploration of the AIFC, but also contributes to the further development of the scientific understanding on the special economic zone and its constitutional status. Is it proven in the article? Yes, it's proven, published scientific articles. The second provision submitted for the, is it proven? About second provision. Yes, it is proven because author examines the international practices regarding the legal framework governing the operation of prominent special economic zone in the financial sector and the contemporary models of the international commercial courts. About the question trivials, it's not trivial since the author explores the theoretical basis and the substance, the term constitutional status formulate original definition for the constitutional status of the AIFC. Is it new? Yes, significant. The first time national legal scholars are examining global practices regarding the legal framework governing the operations of the most successful special economic zone in the financial sector and the contemporary models of international commercial courts. Level of application is wide. The implementation is proven. Provision not only develops a deeper exploration of the AIFC, but also contributes to the further development of the scientific understanding of the AIFC and its constitutional status. Is it proven in the article? Yes, it was proven in the article. What about the third provision submitted for the defenses? The third provision is also proven. Author thoroughly analyzes the legal regulations, the Almaty Regional Financial Center, and the historical as well as the legal background for the emergence of the first as well as the latest international financial center in the Republic of Kazakhstan. It's not trivial. Since national legal science does not attempt to analyze creation of RFCA and its legal regulation during its existing as well as the reasoning for its later dissolution. Is it news? Yes, because this is one of the first attempts to conduct research of the activities of the Almaty Regional Financial Center. The analysis clearly suggests the RFCA was not studied in the legal scholars, especially in light of continuing of the development of financial spheres that led to the creation of Astana International Financial Center. Level of application is wide. The understanding of the historical background for the emergence and the dissolutions of the RFCA significant. It allows to understand both historical context of the creation of the AIFC as well as legal background for the legal regulation of the special economic zone and international financial center. Is it proven in the article? Yes, it was proven in the article. And the next one is the fourth provision submitted for the defense. Is it about provenness? Yes, it was proven through the comprehensive analysis of the constitutional basis legal norms that regulate purpose of the goal and the principles of the AIFC operation. It examines AIFC territory applicable new and the language participants, their roles along with their activities and obligations. It's not trivial since additional to the issue internal structure, AIFC, the authors addresses the specific feature of the currency tax and the visa regimes, as well as the organizational structure of the AIFC and its key governing bodies. About the question newest, it's a yes, it is new. This is the first time in the literature is detailed and the holistic analysis provided on the constitutional foundations of the legal provisions that regulated all aspects AIFC bodies and their operation, including its territory, language, legal framework, and the specific features of its currency, tax, and the visa regimes. The level of application is wide. The comprehension of this provision not only fosters and the depth exploration in the AIFC, but also advances the scientific understanding of the AIFC and the constitutional status of its bodies. It was proven in article also. About the fifth provision, it also proven a key conclusion derived from analysis modern special economic zone like DIFC, QFC, ADGM, and other is that 4 critical policies are necessary for the development of successful seas constitutional regulation, organizational autonomy, legislative delegation, and the application of English common law principles with the financial center of jurisdiction. About the question 3, I will know because on the basis of the latest international research, the dissertation provides 4 new criteria that is required for the successful development of the international financial center. Yes, it is new. This is first because this is first time the activity of the leading international financial centers were analyzed from legal standpoint. Moreover, the thesis substantiates 4 important factors such as constitutional regulation of the financial center, its legislative autonomy, transplanting the English common law, as well as the development of the Islamic financing on the territory of the financial center. The level of application is wide. The further implementation of the provision of this dissertation creates necessary background for the development of the national legal science. Yes, it also has proved in the article. About 6 provisions submitted for this defense. It was also proven due to the fact that the dissertation presents support a new perspective, offers fresh explanation and clarification. Situation in Kazakhstan following the creation of a previously unfamiliar entity responsible for the judicial review of disputes, the AIFC courts and International Arbitration Center. Is it revival? No. The study includes examination of the AIFC court and International Arbitration Center's activities, where its ruling have been thoroughly analyzed, categorized, compared to other modern international commercial courts. Is it news? Yes, since it's the first time dissertation provides an analysis of the constitutional and the legal foundation of the AIFC court status operation, arguing that it should be viewed as a special extraordinary court. Contrary rationale is that the AIFC court does not create the duality with the national judicial system as it operates independently of it, and therefore its established does not conflict with the Constitution of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Here, the level of application is also wide. The implementation of this provision has wide application due to the fact identifies the place and the role AIFC court and International Arbitration Center in the system of other judicial bodies existing in the Republic of Kazakhstan. Is it proved in the article? Yes, it also has proved in the article. The 7 provisions submitted for the defense. This provision is also proved due to the fact that dissertation clearly establishes the legal framework governing AIFC, particularly focusing on the integration of English common law into Kazakhstan's legal system. This includes addressing the coexistence of the state language of the official used language, Russian, and the English with the AIFC, while also considering the nuance of adopting Islamic law to promote developing Islamic finance. Is it trivial? No. Since addressing the pressing issues with the regularization of the AIFC, including the duality of the national legal system, official translation of AIFC acts to avoid contradictions of inconsistencies, interpretation, as well as analysis of global best practice shows that to advance as Islamic finance, local conventional banks should be allowed to open Islamic windows through legislative means. Is it new? Yes, it's new, because since it's proposed for the first time of the amendments that should be introduced to AIFC Acts and the hierarchy of the AIFC Acts in order to ensure that they do not contradict with the constitution of the AIFC constitutional statute, identifying the role of the AIFC court in interpreting AIFC Acts, including the circumstances under which it has the authority to interpret their meaning, specifying the AIFC bodies that are authorized to request interpretation of AIFC Acts from the AIFC courts should be identified, and determining the term other common law jurisdictions in the AIFC constitutional status needs to be defined. Level of application is wide. The implementation of these provisions not only promotes a more comprehensive and detailed examination of AIFC, but also plays a significant role in advancing the scholarly understanding of the AIFC and its constitutional frameworks. It's contributed to deeper appreciation of its legal foundation and operational structure, thereby enriching the broader academic discourse surrounding its status within the Kazakhstan legal system. Is it proven in the articles? Yes, it has proven in scientific articles. To achieve this through comprehensive analysis of the issues addressed, a range of scientific methods were employed, including the monitoring method, dialectical method, qualitative approaches, historical approach, qualitative method, and the method of the comprehensive jurisprudence and the qualitative research technique. The results of the dissertation work were obtained using modern methods of the scientific research and the methods of the processing, interpretation data using computer technology. All statements of the theoretical research were confirmed by material publishing in the scientific articles, as well as the basis of judicial practice. The importance of statements are confirmed by reference to relevant and reliable scientific literature. The list of reference contains 257 sources, to which reference borrowing, quotations, and the polemics are provided in the dissertation. The literature used are sufficient for literature review. The literature review presents comparison of the views of leading scholars, the problem, constitutional and the legal regulation of the financial center, as well as special economic zone in the financial sphere. The author has reviewed the most recent publication on the topic of the study. The dissertation has high theoretical significance. Should be noted that giving such importance to the issue of constitutional regulation of the Astana International Financial Center is a significant contribution to the development of scientific knowledge of the theory of constitutional law. The dissertation has practical significance, and there is high probability of applying the obtained results in practice. The conclusions and the results of work can be used in a normative law enforcement activities to eliminate the gaps and the contradictions of the current legislation. The proposed work is one of the first attempts to comprehensive study the problems of legal constitutional regulation of the AIFC. The practical significance of the completed study is based on the relevance and novelty of the study is manifested in the fact that the information and the conclusions obtained during the study characterize the current state legal regulation of relations in the field of constitutional law. The proposal for practice are new. The result of study can be used in the educational process when studying the discipline legal regulation of Astana International Financial Center, as well as the constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center, and also contribute to the establishment of uniformity in the practice, considering the decision of the AIFC court. The quality of academic writing is high. The author is able to express and substantiate his through a short yet quite convincing significant text and provides the result of his own research. In addition to facts, the dissertation contains logical reasoning and the understanding of the resulting part. The work vitally uses citations and the references to the works of leading scientists. Taking into account above, I believe that the dissertation prepared by doctoral student on the topic constitutional status of Astana International Financial Center in terms of content, volume, and the design meets the requirement and can be recommended for the public protection. Also, the work could be more meaningful with a separate consideration of issue of theory and the practice of enforcement of AIFC court decision under domestic legislation. The scientific level of doctoral candidates' articles very high, especially the article's perspective of the court of the Astana International Financial Center, the potential to transform to the Central Asian legal landscape is of the highest caliber. The theoretical level of the written work, language and the written skills, competence, accuracy, logical connection of the section indicates that the work is written at the high academic level of the level of knowledge is saturated with the new materials. Based on the paragraph 28 of the model of regulation of the dissertation council, the decision is to award a Doctor of Philosophy degree in the specialty HD 04-01 jurisprudence to Kенжалиев М.З. Thank you very much. I'm sorry if I didn't follow requirements.
Thank you, Raul Pegazevich. The floor is now passed to the doctoral student to respond to the comments. Please.
Thank you very much for your review. I would deeply appreciate that you have publicly reviewed my thesis dissertation and provide as well as your official opinion on this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. The floor is now given to the second reviewer, PhD Hasanbek Aliya Musafizov. Please.
Very glad to see everyone. Dear members of the Education Council, dear Chairman of the Council, let me give my opinion today as an official reviewer on the topic of constitutional status of the International Finance Center by Kенжалиев М.З. Criteria number one. The topic of the application as of the date of its approval corresponds to the dissertation direction of scientific development and the government programs. The topic of the dissertation is in accordance with the priority direction of the development of science and also correspondence with the national programs such as the program of the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan dated May 20 of 2015 Nation Plan 100 Concrete Steps. Second, Joint Action Plan of the Government of the Republic of Kazakhstan and the National Bank of the Republic of Kazakhstan for the creation and development of the Astana International Financial Center for the long-term approved by the resolution of the Government of the Republic of Kazakhstan dated May 13 of 2015, number 393. Criteria number two, scientific significance. The dissertation makes a substantial contribution to the legal science with its importance being outlined in the dissertation. The research's scientific value and significance lie in the following: defining the concept of the constitutional and legal status of the Astana International Financial Center, conducting a detailed study of the historical development of International Financial Center as well as special economic zones in Kazakhstan. Highlighting international practice in the legal regulation of special economic zones within the financial sector, providing a comprehensive review of the primary bodies of the AIFC, offering an in-depth analysis of the AIFC code alongside leading international financial court across Asia and Europe. As a result, Kенжалиев М.З. dissertation meets the highest standards required for PhD dissertation in the fields of HD 04-201 jurisprudence. Criteria number three, the principle of independence. The work reflects the authors independent research conducted at the highest academic level. The thesis is well organized, exemplifying a high standard of academic rigor and presented with clarity and consistency. The candidate incorporates a robust selection of relevant national and international sources and the legal documents. The research goals and objectives were successfully achieved with finding clearly presented. Criteria number 4, the principle of internal unity. The dissertation topic is both relevant and well justified. Kенжалиев М.З. thesis addresses a highly pertinent scientific and practical issue, focusing on the constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center. The relevance of this topic is underscored by significant scientific and practical interest in the subject of the study. The research gains importance by its analysis of the legal and constitutional status of the AIFC, its governing bodies, the legal framework within the AIFC, the adaptation and English common law in Kazakhstan, and the review of international experience from comparable financial centers. Therefore, in my professional opinion, the dissertation by Kенжалиев М.З. on the constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center is considerably relevance. 4.2. The thesis examines the status and the role of the Astana International Financial Center within Kazakhstan state administration system. The dissertation content aligns closely with its topic, demonstrating a clear and logical structure that reflects the research objects and purpose. A thorough review of the work reveals a coherent progression and adheres to the dissertation purpose. Each provides a detailed analysis of the IFC's primary functions and applicable legal framework, as well as in-depth study its organizational and legal structure. Additionally, the dissertation addresses both current and anticipated challenges and explore future dissertation for the development of the legal regulation of the AIFC. 4.3. The primary aim of this work is to conduct a thorough analysis of the constitutional and legal status of the AIFC. Hence, the author actuates their thesis dissertation, main purpose and objectives with clarity, ensuring they align closely and correspond with dissertation topic. The structured sequence and the number of tasks effectively supports the attainment of the research goal. This includes investigating essential aspects of constitutional and legal status of the AIFC, assessing the compatibility of its legal system with Kazakhstan's national legal system, examining of rule of the AIFC court and its place within Kazakhstan jurisdiction, analyzing the AIFC types of the key bodies and exploring the specific legal norms applied within the IAFC. Overall, the research purpose is comprehensible, achieved with each objective fully addressed in the study. 5.5. There is critical analysis within the dissertation and the validity of each results are ensured by the relevance of the selected topic. That also provides the new solution of process in the clear and objective manner. The scientific findings presented by the dissertation also are grounded in a carefully developed organizational and methodological framework. It's new within the sphere of comparative law as well as constitutional law. They also conducted in-depth analysis of judicial decisions from the IAFC court, as well as a review of existing internal regulation of the financial center. The study's results and their conclusion derived from this scientific work a novel, as demonstrated by a thorough literature review, providing a comprehensive analysis within the research filed. Criteria number 5.1. The scientific results, finding, conclusion, and key propositions submitted by the author for defense represent a meaningful and completely new contribution to the fields of constitutional and comparative law sphere, standing out for their originality. The conclusion align closely with the study's stated purpose and objectives. 5.2. All findings in the thesis are completely new, theoretically significant, and organized into four main paragraphs that together all offer a substantial theoretical and practical contribution to advancing the legal field. 5.3. While some technical, technological, economic, or managerial solutions are passionately innovative, they are well-founded. They also provide this recommendation for amending the substantive law of the Astana International Financial Center, drawing on leading international practices. These proposals are intended to support the development and modernization goals of both the AIFC and the Republic of Kazakhstan legal system. Criteria number 6. The robustness of the results is supported and are based on substantial body of analyzed materials, including scientific articles, relevant dissertations, research studies, and statistical data. Criteria number 7. The first provision submitted for defense. Is the provision proven? Of course, it is proven. It's proven. Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Of course, yes. Is it new? It is new. Level of application is wider. Is it proven in the article? Yes. Yes. And the second provision submitted for defense. Is the provision proven? Yes, proven. Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Yes. Level of application wide. Is it proven in the article? Yes. The third provision submitted for defense. Is it provision proven? Proven. Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Yes. Level of application wider. Is it proven in the article? Yes. The fourth provision submitted for defense. Is the provision proven? Proven. Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Of course, it is new. Level of application is wider. Is it proven in the article? Yes. The fifth provision submitted for defense. Is the provision proven? Proven. Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Of course, it's new. Level of application is wider. Is it proven in the article? Yes. The sixth provision submitted for defense. Is it provision proven? Proven. Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Yes. Level of application is wider. Is it proven in the article? Yes. And finally, the seventh provision submitted for defense. Is it provision proven? problem? Is it trivial? No. Is it new? Yes. Level of application is wide. Is it proven in the article? Yes. Criteria number 8. Variety of scientific methodologies were utilized to conduct a thorough and comprehensive analysis of issues within the thesis dissertation. This includes qualitative approaches such as the monitoring method and the dialectical method, as well as a historical approach and as a qualitative technique. Additionally, the method of comparative jurisprudence was employed as a qualitative research technique to enrich the analysis. The finding of this dissertation were derived through the application of contemporary scientific research methods along with data processing and interpretation technique facilitated by computer technologies. All theoretical assertions were substantiated by materials published in scientific articles and supported by literature review and judicial practice. The sources within the thesis provide a solid foundation for comprehensive literature review. This review compares the perspective of prominent scholars on the constitutional and legal regulation of financial center and the special economic zones within the financial sector. Additionally, the author has analyzed the latest publications relevant to the study focus. The dissertation holds substantial theoretical significance, particularly in addressing the constitutional regulation of the Astana International Financial Center. This focus represents a meaningful contribution of advancing scientific knowledge in the field of constitutional law as well as the comparative law. The dissertation poses considerable practical significance with strong likelihood that its finding can be applied in practice. The conclusion and the results could serve as valuable resources in normative and law enforcement activities, helping to address gaps and inconsistencies in current legislation. The practical suggestion and proposal put forward in this study are innovative. The finding can be incorporated into the educational curriculum for courses on regularization of the Astana International Financial Center and all the courses. Additionally, these results may aid in fostering understanding the judicial practice and the decision-making process on the IAFC court. And criteria number 10, the dissertation demonstrated a high standard of academic writing. The author effectively communicates and substantiates ideas through common sense yet completing scientific texts, presenting original research findings alongside factual information to work incorporate logical reasoning and the clear understanding of the implication of the finding. Citation and reference to the work of leading scholars are extensively used, thorough adding depth and rigor to the analysis. Criteria number 11. Considering the points outlined above, I believe that the dissertation prepared by the doctoral candidate on the topic constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center meets the necessary standard in themes of content, scope, and formatting, and suitable for public defense. However, the work could be further enriched by including a structured examination of the practical aspects of integrating English common law within the Republic of Kazakhstan and the possibility to widen the application of the common law in the other territories of the state. And criteria number 12, the doctoral candidate's article demonstrates an exceptionally high level of scientific rigor, theoretical depth, linguistic precision, writing skill, thoroughness, metricalness, and logical coherence across all sections indicate that this work is crafted at the high academic standard. The content is enriched with new insights reflecting the candidate's advanced level of knowledge. And finally, in accordance with paragraph 28 of the model regulation on the dissertation council, the decision is to award the degree of doctoral philosophy in the specialty AD 04200 jurisprudence, Kенжалиев М.З. Official reviewer, acting deputy dean for science and international relations of our university. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Aliya М.З., for your review. The floor is now given to the applicant. Ali, please.
Thank you for your work as well. I highly appreciate your review and your opinion with regard to our dissertation work. Thank you very much once again.
Okay, thank you. The next stage of our meeting is the discussions. Who would like to share their opinion? Please. Lina, please. Doctor of Law, Professor of Turan University.
Thank you very much. Dear Council and members of the Dissertation Council, dear applicant, scientific advisor, colleagues, friends, and relatives of the applicant. It is great pleasure that I participate in the meeting of the Dissertation Council, as Kенжалиев М.З. is a graduate of the doctoral program at Brown University. I have personally witnessed how he began to work purposefully and productively on his dissertation from first days of his studies in the doctoral program, and today he presents it for public defense. I believe that the relevance and absolute novelty of the topic of his work is beyond opinion or question. For the first time in Kazakhstan legal science, a comprehensive scientific research on the constitutional and legal foundations of the status of the International Financial Center Astana has been conducted. It is evident that similar works, at least from the constitutional and legal aspect, are absent in the context of the former USSR, despite the existence of an LHS International Financial Center in some of them for many years. It should be noted that compared to other international financial centers, Astana is unique. This uniqueness lies in the fact that it has constitutional foundations. According to the Constitution of the Republic of Kazakhstan, a special legal regime in the financial sphere may be established within the city of Astana in accordance with the constitutional law. The status of Center Astana is regulated by the constitutional law date December 7th, 2015. The main weakness of the center is that two legal systems operates on its territory. The national law of the Republic of Kazakhstan, based on the principle of the Romanian Dominic legal system, and the law of England and Wales, which belongs to Anglo-Saxon or the common law legal system. To resolve disputes of the center has been established, which operates based on the procedural principle and norms of England and Wales, and the standards of leading global financial centers, and it's not part of the judiciary system of the Republic of Kazakhstan. A distinctive feature of the court is that it maintains only civil law disputes, primarily between the participants of the center. Applicant has thoroughly outlined the main conclusions and provisions of his work that he presents for defense. Their views have also meticulously analyzed the main results of the dissertation, highlighted its novelty, and provided their critical comments and recommendations. Therefore, I would like to note the main merits of his work. First of all, it's a profound scientific theoretical study of the constitutional and legal status of the International Financial Center, based on the comprehensive examination of vast arrays of sources, works by leading legal scholars from Kazakhstan and beyond. Secondly, the work is written in English, the official language of the Astana Center, which allowed the dissertation applicant to use materials from the center's practice and to study the activities of legal global financial center. This enabled the formulation of some practical recommendations for improving the legislation and operation of Kazakhstan Center. Another advantage of the applicant's proficiency in English is that he has also familiarized himself with the academic works of the CCU written by scholars from the West and other countries. Thirdly, the dissertation is interdisciplinary and is written at the intersection of the several state and law, constitutional, administrative, financial, civil procedural, and international private law. Considering the current trends in the development of legal science, this is the most appropriate approach. Among the most interesting aspects of the work are the applicant's proposals for the need for legislative permission for local traditional banks to open Islamic windows with the aim of developing Islamic finance, determining the place of the interpretation of the center's court within the hierarchy of legal acts of the center, the content of the term other common law jurisdictions in the constitutional law of the centers and others. The dissertation is executed with an adequate scientific and theoretical level with a high degree of novelty. In this regard, I support the opinion of the official reviews to recommend to the Dissertation Council to make a decision to award Malik Kenzali the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in the field of law. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, any other opinions? Eric? The next, Eric Marjanovic? The next word will be given to Ahmet Erik Marjanovic, consultant of the representative office of the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan in the Parliament of the Republic of Kazakhstan.
Microphone.
Microphone. Eric. Pavlovich. Юрий Павлович.
Естіліп тұр ма? Естіліп тұр ма?
Едесіз,
Аха. Қайырлы күн, диссертациялық кеңестің төрағасы, мүшелері. Бүгінгі мен мемлекет тілде сіздерге жауап берейін. Бағанадан бері жақсы бәрі ағылшын тілінде айтып жатыр. Сәл кішкене. Енді мынау бүгінгі қорғалып жатқан диссертациялық жұмыстың өзінің тақырыбы десе де, жаңа көкейкестілігі десе де айтатын болсақ, өте көкейкесті мәселелердің біріне арналған Мәди Зайлағұлының жұмысы. Енді бұл жерде айта кету керек, енді бізде мынау таза мемлекеттік бағдарламалармен және де мемлекеттік құжаттармен байланысына келетін болсақ, бұл деген осы 2024 жылғы 2-ші қыркүйектегі президенттің жолдауынан жолдауымен түйіседі деп айтсақ болады. Бұл тақырыптың өзектілігі себебі ол кісі мемлекет басшысы өзінің жолдауында айтып кеткен болатын. Қазіргі кезде бізге мына шетелдік инвестицияларды тарту керек деп. Ол үшін тарту арқылы біз деген экономиканы және де әрбір халықтың әл-ауқатын көтереміз деп сондай жаңағы өзінің жолдауында айтқан болатын. Және де сонымен қатар ол деген тікелей біздің сыртқы саясатпен де байланысты. Бұл диссертациялық жұмыстың тақырыбы, өйткені бізде көптеген инвесторлар осында келген кезде Қазақстанға осы көбісі жаңағы Астана халықаралық қаржы орталығының сотына дауларды шешуге жүгінеді. Соған байланысты бұл жаңағы біздің 2020-2030 жылдарға арналған Қазақстан Республикасы сыртқы саясатында осы тұжырымдаманы іске асыру жаңа Қазақстан Республикасының әлемдік шаруашылық байланыстарға интеграциялануының барынша жоғары деңгейіне, оның ішінде ұлттық экономиканы әртараптандыру мен цифрландыру негізінде қол жеткізуге жәрдем етеді. Және де сонымен қатар бұл Қазақстан Республикасы сыртқы саясат стратегиясы стратегиялық мақсаттарының бірі болып, ол ұлттық экономиканы бәсекеге қабілетін көшіру мақсатында сыртқы саясаттың әлеуетін толыққанды пайдалану және ұлттық бизнестің іс жүзіндегі мүдделер мемлекеттің сыртқы саясатының негізгі бағытына айналдыру. Және бұл жерде тағы бір айта кететін жайт, ол жаңағы негізгі экономика саласындағы бағыттардың бірі болып, ол деген экономиканың базалық салаларына сапалы шетелдік инвестицияларды тарту және халықаралық ынтымақтастықты кеңейту. Сонымен қатар инновациялық және индустриялық үрдістің маңызды бөлігі ретінде Қазақстанға озық шетелдік технологияларды трансферлеуге жәрдемдесу. Жаңа жоғары технологиялық салаларда халықаралық әріптестікті, оның ішінде цифрлық Қазақстан мемлекеттік бағдарламасы аясында жасанды интеллект пен үлкен деректер секторларын және басқа да іргелес бағыттарды дамыту тұрғысынан ашық юрисдикция ретінде Қазақстан брендін ілгерілету. Яғни қазір деген өздеріңізге мәлім, бізде мына осы Астана халықаралық қаржы орталығының сотында біраз даулар шешіліп жатыр, және де осы қаржылық орталыққа көбісі мына шетелдік қаржылық институттары жаймен өздерінің көзқарастарын, ілтипаттарын білдіріп келуге, сонымен ынтымақтастық жасауға келісіп жатыр. Және де бұл жерде тағы бір айту керек, Қазақстан осы сыртқы саясат тұжырымдамасына сай келетін болсақ, Қазақстан экономикасының бәсекеге қабілетті салаларының халықаралық және өңірлік өндіріс тізбелерінің интеграциялануына жәрдемдесу сыртқы саясаттың негізгі бағыттарының бірі. Және ұлттық ең алдымен шикізаттық емес экспорттың тізімдемесін, көлемін және географиясын кеңейтуге жәрдемдесу. Сонымен қатар тағы бір басты бағыттардың бірі осы Астана халықаралық қаржы орталығымен байланысты жаһандық қаржылық экожүйеге одан әрі интеграциялану мақсатында жаңағы Астана халықаралық қаржы орталығының алаңын ілгерілету. Қазақстанның тауар биржаларының басқаруға ірі шетелдік компанияларды тарту. Дүниежүзілік сауда ұйымының қағидаттары негізінде халықаралық сауда жүйесінің тиімді жұмыс істеуіне жәрдемдесу. Осылардың барлығы жаңағы диссертанттың зерттеліп отырған тақырыбы аясында негізгі біздің сыртқы саясат арқылы жүзеге асыратын жаңағы тетіктердің бірі деп айтсақ болады. Және бұл айта кету керек, тағы диссертанттың жұмысы Қазақстанда өзі айтып кеткендей, жете дұрыс зерттелмеген. Ол кісі конституциялық жаңағы құқықтық мәртебесін зерттеп, жаңағы Алматы өңірлік қаржы орталығына және де Мәскеу қаржы орталығының солардың жаңағы бұрынғы ақаулықтарын ескере отырып, өзінің авторлық жаңағы несін береді, түсінігін береді, және де көптеген соны жетілдіру бойынша тетіктерді қалай оңтайландырудың жолдарын жаңағы өзінің авторлық редакциясында беріп отыр. Енді қорытындылай келе, Мәди Зайлағұлының жұмысы өте көкейкесті, және де ойлаймыз осы қазақстандық отандық заңтану ғылымына өзінің үлесін қосады деп. Және де оның авторы PhD доктор дәрежесін беруге лайық. Рахмет.
Рахмет сізге, Елік Бауыржанұлы. Өзекті айтқаныңыз дұрыс. Any other opinions? Аманолла Закирович, может, вы
Да, я тоже хотел бы большое отношение к этой исследовательской работе Меди Зайналовой. Я хотел бы сказать несколько слов. Безусловно, актуальность диссертации обусловлена тем, что столица и ее правовой статус считаются важными институтами конституционного и административного права. Безусловно, эта работа посвящена созданию эффективных методов организации государственного управления в столице с определением в этом процессе. Особенно это актуализируется вопросами, связанными полномочиями центрального правительства и муниципальных властей, и необходимостью единообразным обеспечением интересов общественности и потребностей жителей столицы, выполнение столичных функций. Ну, я должен сказать, и как я в ходе сегодняшнего обсуждения я задал вопрос, связанный, что последние годы и в Центральноазиатском регионе между столицами наших государств активизируются экономические отношения, политические, и в различных сферах. Эта область представляет, я имею в виду вопросы, связанные с правовым статусом, актуализируются, поскольку работы конституционный правовой статус и Международного правового центра Астаны, это, безусловно, в этой исследовательской работе рассматривается как специальная экономическая зона. Я должен сказать о том, что специальная промышленная зона является нынешних современных условий экономических преобразований в наших странах ключевым элементом, как любой столицы, играет важную для ускорения развития, в частности, отдельно взятые государства Центральной Азии. И я должен сказать, вот последние годы в Узбекистане ускоренными темпами тоже развивается столица, в частности, вот столица Узбекистана, Ташкент. Я хотел бы привести небольшую такую информацию для участников сегодняшнего обсуждения. Узбекистан, как вы знаете, последние годы выдвигает очень амбициозные цели по увеличению валового внутреннего продукта до 200 миллиардов долларов. И в этом смысле эффективное взаимодействие с иностранными инвесторами тоже расширяется. Только Ташкент является лидером привлечения, не только Ташкент, но и поскольку Ташкент это является столицей, как и Астана, является лидером привлечения инвестиций. Их объем вот сейчас запланировано в ближайшее время увеличить объем иностранных и местных инвестиций до 10 миллиардов. Ну и я должен сказать и международный аспект данного исследовательской работы, поскольку и в глобальном масштабе роль городов, особенно столиц, в жизни каждого государства и общества растет. Не зря в докладе программы Организации Объединенных Наций по расселению, который проходил в 2023 году, что будущее человечества, безусловно, связано с городами. В данном процессе функции особую роль принадлежит столицам, и особая социальная нагрузка только ложится непосредственно на столицы этих государств. И я должен сказать, одной из новизной диссертационной работы является то, что в ней впервые в юридической литературе, науке дается комплексный ценностный анализ конституционных основ правовых норм, регулирующих все структуры органов Международного финансового центра. В частности, поскольку это особое внимание было сфокусировано на анализе непосредственно Астаны, города Астаны, их деятельность, в том числе территории, и язык, право, Международного финансового центра, особенности валютного, налогового, визового, и обосновывается необходимость организации новых, как было отмечено диссертантом, полюсов роста, совершенствование функций столицы, анализ юридических аспектов этого процесса. Ну, я думаю, данное диссертационное исследование представляет большой интерес для наших исследователей, в том числе и Узбекистана, поскольку это исследование не только носит теоретический, но и практический характер. И эти материалы, положения, которые были изложены нашим диссертантам, и представляют для нашей практики экономического взаимодействия между нашими государствами. Я призываю членов диссертационного совета поддержать данную диссертационную работу, и я думаю, сегодня мы являемся свидетелями рождения нового специалиста в области конституционного права, молодого специалиста в этой области. Большое спасибо за ваше внимание.
Спасибо, Закиш. Спасибо большое. М.З.
I tried to explain my emotion about today's defense. I'm really pleased by today's defense, and I'm really satisfied by this defense. Madi Zalagio, he showed the high level of his preparation of this dissertation. And he showed us a very deep understanding of his thesis. It's very good dissertation, I think, and I looked through the number of literature which was used in these dissertations. It's really amazing, and we should understand that this dissertation, the writing of these dissertations was difficult because this new dissertation for our republic, and I can imagine how it was difficult to find specific literature. And as I understand, the mostly you wrote this dissertation on a comparative level. So thank you very much. I really appreciate by this dissertation, by this defense. Thank you very much for your scientific supervisor. I really encourage my colleague to support the dissertation. I'm sure that Madi Zalagioli is ready to be PhD, professor of PhD, doctor of PhD, and I hope that this degree will be an important step in his future scientific work. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other opinions?
Yes, I have.
Please.
I have one long speech. I'm the team dissertation council and esteemed academic advisor. We need to speak in support of our dissertation candidate, Kенжалиева М.З, and his valuable research on the topic constitutional status of Astana International Financial Center. This scientific research presented for public defense is as all present have already seen, is reformed for the first time in relation to an interesting and insufficiently researched financial and legal institution, which is the International Financial Center Astana. The paper examined the constitutional status of the AIFC, the peculiarities of adaptation of the main stage of international experience in the legal regulation of the activities of such centers in the world, each of which has unique properties and allow expanding the instrumental base of the modern economy of Kazakhstan. Today, Kazakhstan is a country that is rapidly gaining momentum in the global economy and represents a sphere of opportunity for entrepreneurs and investors. Stable economic development, favorable investment policy, and strategic geographical location make our country an ideal place of launch of business. Kazakhstan's financial system is characterized by stability, supported by a progressive banking system and active development of financial technologies. The government is implementing a number of reforms to improve the investment climate, simplify the taxing system, and strengthen investor protection. Among the key challenges facing Kazakhstan economy is the need for further diversification, reducing dependence on hydrocarbon exports and overcoming regional economic disparities. According to the author of the study, it is at the moment that it is relevant and necessary to use all the advantages of new financial and legal institutions. AIFC in Kazakhstan plays a key role in strengthening the country's economy, especially in attracting foreign investment. They also note that special attention should be paid to the protection of investor rights, including measures against illegal interference and guarantees of compliance with contractual obligations. Transparency and predictability of regulatory environment play an important role in the investment decision-making process. In addition, the active international cooperation of AIFC contributes to the integration of Kazakhstan into the global economic system, presenting opportunities for international business and financial transactions. With its unique legal status based on the principle of English law, AIFC creates a favorable environment for investors and entrepreneurs, providing reliable protection of their rights. The Astana International Financial Center is a unit for the Central Asia region platform with a special legal status which grants its participants special privileges. AIFC combines the best experience and the most modern capabilities of advanced financial centers from New York and London to Dubai, Hong Kong, and Singapore. This is the reason is why doing business in Kazakhstan is so beneficial, especially for those seeking global expansion and international cooperation. Thanks to such state bodies, Kazakhstan strengthened in its position as a financial hub in the Central Asian region. I would like to note that it is important to study the phenomenon of the use of English law during the work of the Center Court. AIFC operates on the basis of English law, which provides a more transparent and predictable legal environment. English law, with its long history and established precedents, is one of the most respected and widely used legal systems in the world, especially in the field of commercial and corporate law. The presence of British and international judges in the AIFC guarantees impartiality, high professionalism, and compliance with the best work practice in the legal proceedings. This creates an additional level of trust among international investors and companies working in the AIFC. The territory of English law in the AIFC, with the participation of British and international judges, is a significant advantage, providing a high level of trust and security for commercial activities in Kazakhstan. This position the AIFC as a modern, reliable, and attractive financial center for global business. Noting the scientific and practical significance of the work, a high degree of validity of its main results, it should be noted that the scrupulousness and methodological of the author's research. The dissertation as a whole is performed at a high level, written in good language, and testified to the high professional culture of the author. It presents the result of the completed research carried out on a topical subject and devoted to the solution of an important scientific task to comprehensively investigate all the most important aspects of the constitutional and legal status of gender. The dissertation in conceptual in nature, the result presented in it have significant theoretical and practical significance. Summarizing our presentation, I would like to emphasize that the presented dissertation research should be recognized as a worthy scientific work and support the author. And I want to notice that the language skill is very high, and I like your presentation very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other?
Could I say one proposal?
Yes, please.
I want to recommend to publish this dissertations as monography on three language, English, Russian, and Kazakh. It's very useful for the juridical, Kazakhstan juridical science of constitutional and administrative law.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other opinions? No. Then the floor is passed to the applicant. Mr. Mandi, please.
Dear members of the Citation Council, thank you very much. Let me express to my deepest gratitude for you for having me today, for sharing your time, for reading my thesis dissertation, for listening to the presentation, and as well providing your feedback, valuable feedback that we most certainly will take into account with my research consultant. And hope that everything that you will say, we will try to realize everything. And once again, let me express my deepest gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Dear members of the dissertation council, for the voting process, each member is required to participate in a separate ballot by using the link sent individually via email. We kindly request those who are not participating in the voting to step outside, please. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
How? Excuse me, are you voted?
Kalın Bagazevich.
Are you voted? Are you voted?
Waiting?
Voted.
Did you vote?
No, I just talking with my phone. It's okay. I'm
Yeah.
Thank you.
We waiting for you, only for you.
Спокойно, спокойно.
Yes, I did it.
To announce the results of the voting, the floor is given to the academic secretary of the dissertation council. The voting panel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The result of voting on the issue of the applicant of Kенжалиева М.З. for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy PhD under the educational program 9D04201 students to award the degree of Doctor of Philosophy PhD 8. Send the dissertation for revision 0, send the dissertation for the redefense 0, refuse to award the degree of Doctor of Philosophy PhD 0.
Dear members, our next step is to discuss the draft conclusion of the dissertation council and approve the qualification criteria of the dissertation. Qualification features
Thank you, Martin.
Paper. Qualification, section of the dissertation. First, number one, description of the results of the dissertation.
1.1.
1.1.
Yeah.
Number two, the note of the results of the dissertation.
2.1.
2.1.
2.1. Number three, the value of the results of the dissertation.
3.1. 3.1.
3.1.
Mhm.
2.1.
Number four, the connection of this topic with plant research. Number two, 4.2 or 4.1.
3. 3, I think.
Three? Yes. 3?
Yes.
4.3? Okay. Number five, the level of implementing of the results of the dissertation of applied importance. 5.2. 5.2?
Yeah.
5.2? Okay. Number six, recommendations for the wide application of the result of the dissertation of applied importance.
6.1.
Any opinions?
Yes.
6.1. Thank you. Next, resolution. Based on the results of the public defense of the dissertation title, constitutional status of the Astana International Financial Center, and the outcome, the secret ballot, the council resolves. First, to our Kенjali Madi Zaragiuli, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in the educational program 804201 jurisprudence. Second, the decision of the dissertation council to award the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, to Kенjali Madi Zaragiuli in the educational program 804201 jurisprudence is recommended to Al-Farabi Kazakh National University as the basis for issuing the corresponding order. Number three, to approve the resolution of the dissertation council on Mr. Kенjaliyev dissertation. The final word is given to applicant Madi Zaragiuli. Please.
Thank you very much. This was the result of very extensive research that we've been conducting with my research consultant. And we put a lot of effort on this work. We tried to study everything that is relevant to our work. And we are deeply grateful that you have appreciated our efforts and our work, and that you have voted to award this the degree of philosophy, Doctor of Philosophy. So once again, I'm very grateful for that, and thank you very much for your positive feedback. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Our congratulations.
Yes, my congratulations to academic, the normal Vienna, and the supervisor, normal Vienna, and Julia James. And the special thanks for our members yes. Dear members of the dissertation council to be finished. Thank you. Thank you so much. Спасибо вам за кидыш. Рахмет, алым, рахмет.
Всем спасибо.
Жақсы, сау болыңыздар.
Рахмет.
Жақсы.
Bo'ldi, chiqib ketishdi. Ovozim o'chirilgan ekan.